Hey guys, welcome to episode 9 of For Sits and Gigs. Today with me I have Marcus Castles. Hello friend.
Hello.
How are you today?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me, Kev.
Nice warm day for it.
It's really muggy today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sticky.
I should have put the aircon on an hour ago, I didn't think of that.
That's nice.
Now, usually there would be a whiteboard sitting up here with very lovely art on it and, you know, a picture of who's on. Today I've found out that my whiteboard has been sabotaged. So myself and the co-worker are doing an open investigation to find out who's screwed with my whiteboard.
Somebody's in trouble.
Somebody's in trouble. So I will find you and I will kill you. Go and really taken on them. But it came in handy because I couldn't find a photo of Marcus to put up anyway. So he's now informed me that they're all on Instagram, so I'll remember that for next time.
It's Marcus Castle's music. I've got a little page up there.
Yeah. So I keep forgetting, like, so many people these days are actually going more Instagram than Facebook. And I'm just so stuck in my ways with Facebook that I forget to check Instagram. So I will open up. Let's start from the start. We'll go back to how you got your start in music, because you are both a singer, songwriter, guitarist.
Yeah. Limited guitarist.
Limited guitarist. Yeah, tell me about how you got your start.
So I was probably a very late bloomer. I started sort of songwriting about 3 years ago, and sort of trying to work out more chords on the guitar, etc. So the Cartledge family, so Mark and Matt and crew got me into the music stuff. We do a lot of camping and things together, and Muddy Mark, we'd just play around the campfire, bash around on the guitar, and he taught me a few things, and then I started songwriting 3 years ago, somewhere there. And it sort of went from there.
It's rolled pretty frequently. I've seen your folder of written material.
It has. I got knocked out in karate, and it's like something unlocked, I think. I just started. So my daughter wanted to start writing and things. I said, okay, let's go. If an old fart like I can do it, surely. Yeah. So it was sort of more. Her and I got into it a little bit, Grace, and she sort of started doing her thing, and I got a bit obsessed with it, and off I went. So folders and folders of just notes and lyrics and different things.
So through that, you've done a bit of recording now.
Yep.
With her and on your own?
Yeah, so she's got a song where they haven't been released yet. We're looking at somewhere in 2021. COVID kind of slowed things down a little bit with that, but I've got 5 tracks plus 2 we're working on, and Grace has got a couple she's working on. One's ready to go, which is a bit of a cracker of a tune, and it's been a fun journey, really.
Yes, just to speak to the listeners, I am nothing but impressed. Just so impressed with some of the things I've heard, especially from Grace. Now, flowing into the course of this year.
Yep.
Let's just talk straight up about COVID.
COVID. COVID. Well, it was good for us, I guess. I got to work from home, so there was a lot less travel. I've got a little studio at home, so in my downtime I just got to, we were stuck at home and restricted, so I just locked myself in there and punched out tunes, pretty much. I think I filled another book during COVID. So there's a few tracks that, we're sort of, for every 20 or 30 songs you write, you kind of get one that's half okay, I guess. So there's a lot of material that I managed to collate over COVID, and it's sort of sit back and take a breath and go through it all.
It's been good in the sense that, like, just that little studio has not only sort of helped you guys, but you've had me in, helped me work on some of my original stuff that I haven't touched in a century, as well as Matt, Rob, Az.
It's become a little bit of a music hub, that studio, that little
We're just going to need our own keys soon, I think.
Yeah. put a gate in the back fence. No, it has been good. It's it's sort of, and that's the thing. It was just a shed, and during COVID, I had managed to be able to have a bit of time and sort of insulated it to try and not annoy the neighbours, and Yeah, now it seems that at least every second day someone's around doing something in there, which is fun. That's great.
It's fantastic. Fun. It's good to see something good for the community in a sense.
Yeah.
Come out from all this. So next up, gigs throughout the year. Obviously, there wasn't any until sort of the last month, but you did get a few in.
Had a few, yeah. We did. Pipers. I was just playing down at Pipers every second Friday lunchtime down at Poppers on the lake, and last week, as Harris actually played with me as well. So we had a bit of fun down there, and put some tunes together. I guess over COVID, Carter Audio was good with the open mic stuff. You know, all of us were submitting as much stuff as we could in our downtime, and kept everyone connected.
Big ups to Carter Audio, because I now have a backlog of like 30 recorded covers or something like that that will go up on the YouTube channel. It'll happen eventually.
Yeah, so that's been good fun.
Yeah, no, it's been great, and it's been good to get like knowing Azza, especially personally as my guitarist, like him coming out of his shell a lot more now too.
Yeah, I've pinched him for a bit, so
I'll allow it. I've had a few people say that they're going to pinch him, and I'm like, all right, hang on, like one or two, sure, but he's mine. No. So I suppose the next sort of big thing that happened was the ASA, the Australian Songwriters Association.
Yeah, so during the COVID thing, so I was a member of the Australian Songwriters Association. Grace, my daughter, and myself, where we, you get to submit original material. They have yearly songwriting competitions with different prizes. There's recording deals. Or when I say deals, there's recording sessions. Maiten Guitars, Maiten's a sponsor of it. Quite a few, singing lessons, different things. It just depends on who the sponsors are of that year. Mm-hmm. Over COVID, obviously, I was submitting a bit of stuff, and I was talking to a few of the guys, and ended up taking on the role of regional coordinator for Wax Lyrical, Australian Songwriters stuff within the Ballarat and surrounding region, which sort of entails hosting open mic original showcase nights, which our first one kicks off. I know that this is going to go out next week, but this week, Thursday, down at the Volta. So the Volta have been happy enough, Zach down there, to give us a regular spot on the third Thursday of every month from 7 p.m. The Volta, for anyone that's got original music that wants to come and showcase it. So it'll be a 15 minutes, like an open mic format, 15-minute slot, or if you've got one song, come and do one song. We're sort of trying to drag in the songwriting community and share knowledge and experiences, and just have fun. So that's kicking off this year, but it'll carry into 2021. So it is already penciled in for 2021.
Yep.
The third Thursday of every month, kicking off in January.
Yep, perfect. So as of this recording, it's Tuesday. The first Thursday happens this week. We're already looking at a very packed house. It's looking really good.
It's been overwhelming, really. We put it out last week, and we've got 14 performers on the list, and the venue is basically booked out, which is fantastic. And I know, during COVID, everybody's keen to get back out and perform and reconnect with each other and that sort of thing. So hopefully it'll be a great night.
Yeah, it's two really big things there. Is like obviously getting all the musos back in one place, and also getting Volta back up. Like they've had a couple gigs over the last 2 weeks, I think, since they sort of got back into the swing of things. But it's fantastic. Like all we've really had so far over the last month or so has just been the occasional gig here and there for cover artists and things like that. So it's great to see Volta back in the swing of things, and as well as the local community in a sense in the swing of things.
Yes, and I've also spoken to Zara down at Soundcheck Studios in regards to having maybe something down there as well. Probably not as regular, but to, I guess, promote those kids and the teenagers and that are started to write, and they can then slowly get their stuff out there and work into coming and performing as well, which would be fun.
Yeah, so as of this recording, Zara had her end of year showcase last weekend with all the kids, and from what I saw, which was mostly live streams because I couldn't make it down, it was a fantastic night. They nailed it. So it'll be good to see. Well, I mean, I suppose that connection came through this, yeah?
Yeah.
So
well, you've introduced me to, between you and Matt Cartledge, I've been introduced to quite a few, which has been good for that, I guess, to build those relationships and make things like this happen, which has been really good.
Well, that's the great thing. Zara was, episode 1? We're now on episode 9, and we've started something that's, more than I could have asked for, in all fairness. So moving forward, yes, so the ASA gigs will happen once a month. Have you yourself got anything in the wings as far as music's concerned?
I've got, there's some tracks recorded. We're still sort of working out what to do. I'm looking at putting out a little EP in 2021. So there's just original stuff. I've got, I think, 7 there recorded professionally, so we're just waiting to see sort of what ones and what other material I can come up with between now and then. So I've been working with Rod Bustos down in Melbourne. He's a producer down there, and he's really user friendly and helpful, and it's been fun. So cool. So we're just working on some stuff still. Not sure.
I suppose there's a couple of little projects in the works that aren't really official or anything. We recently discussed Sundays.
We did a live stream on the weekend.
On the weekend, we're looking to sort of make that a regular thing.
And that was a bit of fun.
That was great fun, especially because it's that time of year where it's perfect to just sit out on a deck.
Absolutely.
Have a couple of drinks and play some tunes. So, I think that'll sort of be the next broach, because I'd assume now that things are starting to get normal again, we might be able to have Carter sessions again and not so much a live stream anymore. Still looking forward to the end of year gig though, guys, whenever you want to organise that.
Come on, Jacko.
We all want to get together, please. But no, it's been great. I think that's sort of it as far as upcoming.
I had that live stream on Sunday was fun, and we sort of talked about how we could run it out of my little studio at home on the back lawn and have a couple of blankets and a few people around and stream it from there. So that's something we're going to look at once I get it lined properly.
I think Azza and I have wanted to do more sort of outdoor recordings recently, but I've still got a long way to go to fix up my backyard, and I just keep holding it off and holding it off and holding it off. So better do that, because by the time I finish it, summer will be over. Summer doesn't last that long in Ballarat, unfortunately.
Could be long on this year.
Well, if the last 2 days are anything to sort of talk about, we might be in for a hot one this year. So
today's very exceptionally muggy.
So if you want to book us for your pool parties, we're all for it.
Live stream from a pool party. That'd be fun.
All about it. I suppose that's sort of it as far as the general year goes. The question I sort of mainly ask everyone is, what do you think will be the main thing you take from this year? And you can get as philosophical as you want with it, but
I guess the whole COVID thing was, for some people it's been pretty devastating, and for others, my partner and I were in a fortunate enough position where we sort of retained our employment, which was good, but had the opportunity to work from home. So, I know there's a lot of people out there that did suffer, but in regards to, I guess, in a selfish sense, it was kind of good for us, in the fact that, we kept a paycheck coming in, but spent a lot more time at home. So everything stopped, you didn't have to run kids around or, attend different things that you normally would have. So there was a lot more time I could sort of sink into my music, and practice some more chords on the guitar and, write some more lyrics. So in regards to that, it was kind of cool. But now things are back to normal. It's like, I don't want to leave the studio. I like hanging around down here. So but you know, we're back to reality now. So and it's good to be able to get out and watch some music. You know, I went down to Hop Temple last Sunday and watched Bill Barber down there, and that was great just to sit and have a beer and watch some original music. It was great fun. So yeah.
And I think this Thursday will also be another sort of a big one in a sense that you're just going to be listening to a huge variety of artists that are all original. So I think if you needed another kick inspiration-wise, that's probably going to be a big one as well.
Yeah, that's it. So, and it's great that people are getting behind it and supporting it as well. So,
well, if anything like that I've learned throughout this year with starting the podcast and doing working with all these different musos is that obviously there is that sense of collaboration that comes in now where people go, oh, I haven't heard of that person before, I'm going to tee them up and work with them on something, or you know, and I think that the songwriting gigs are going to be just like that as well.
Absolutely, and that's the whole intention of it, to promote that, you know, for people, you know, if they wish to do so, to join the Australian Songwriters Association as well, and you know, submit their original works and you know, try and give it some exposure. They have an annual awards night, you know, sort of gala event every year in Sydney, and you know, so people that are members have the opportunity to go to that and meet other songwriters from, you know, different states, from, you know, different levels. A lot of them are recording artists, right down to, you know, the hobbyists like myself. So yeah, so it's a great opportunity for everyone. So it's been good to be able to pull that together and have that opportunity. There's an email, someone's not in a good way.
We see, when we talked about this right before we started the podcast, I'm like, the
yeah.
only thing that could interrupt me is another ambulance coming around the roundabout.
Here it comes.
Good work, lads. Now, that's sort of it for the general questions, right?
Yep.
What I did want to ask and what I've got to start doing as far as like trying to form this into a general podcast rather than interviews. As far as this year in music for you is concerned, was there anything that you discovered, found, that really piqued your interest, a new band, a new artist, maybe someone locally?
Yeah, well, like I guess through, you know, Instagram and different social media platforms, I got to meet Bill Barber and Rachel Clark, who are both sort of recording artists and perform with it, and we talk quite often, which has been good. It's also opened up, you know, the fact that we've done some songwriting, done some songwriting with Matt, Robbie now. Rachel and I have done a little bit, so it's kind of opened up a different world for me. Like I said, I was a late starter. Like I haven't been, you know, like a lot of musos who will, you know, do 5 or 10 years of pub gigs and you know, slowly lead into songwriting and whatever. I kind of just started off writing poetry, and then from there put chords to it and I had a song, and it's kind of like, what the hell's going on here? So, and things have kind of moved fast, I guess, in regards to, you know, getting music recorded and having these opportunities with the Australian songwriters and bring people together. So it's kind of been a really weird, bit overwhelming at times. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So yeah, it's kind of been really weird in regards to that. But meeting those, you know, a few artists, I got to work with Rod Bustos, who is pretty cool, and he plays with quite a few well-known artists as well. So, you know, in regards to being able to pick their brain and, you know, have his input on my song arrangement and different things as well, it's like, wow. So yeah, so the sky's the limit, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah,
I
well,
guess
I suppose
the thing is, don't make
say,
it a chore. Just enjoy it and have fun with it. That's the main thing.
Don't let it become a full-time job, whatever you
do. Yeah. So
I was going to say, in regards to, like you saying that, you know, you're fairly new to it all, in like as far as like experience is concerned. I didn't even realise that, you know, the first time we met was obviously through one of the open mic nights.
Down
back at Printers.
Yep.
And that was pretty much not long after you'd actually started.
So the first night, the Printers. So I was at the Cartledge, one of the parties out there, and you know, with Matt's old man Mud. Him and I just we're banging around a bit. He's in a couple of bands, but sort of he taught me a few things, and they had a bit of a jam out there one night, and I'd written a couple of songs the week before. That was the first 2 songs I've written. He goes, "Oh, get up and play." And I'm like, "Oh, bloody, no way." So I ended up, after quite a lot of beers, I thought, bugger it, and that's when Matt then started cut audio from the printer's room. And so the first night I went and did 3 songs, I think, and shit myself.
Well, I had no idea at that point when I met you that was the first thing, like didn't have a clue, and I was just like, geez, this guy's pretty bloody good. I had no idea. I don't think I found that out till
then. That was my first night I performed in front of I'd played it, obviously the week before at a barbecue, but that was the first night I'd sort of performed in front of anyone. Which was good.
I didn't even know about that until a couple months ago, I suppose, when we had our jam.
So I mean, I used to sing I had a little bungalow at my old house. I used to have a little bit of a jam in just prior to that, but which was good. And I guess from there, Andy Stanhope, who runs out of the courthouse at Smysedale, sort of said, "Oh, if you can get a reasonably tight set together, I'll give you a spot out there in a month." So it was like, whoa. So I had a month, and Mud and I played, thank God, because I would have shit myself more. But he said, if you can get tighten it up a bit, and I'll give you a spot out there. So that was kind of then my first paid gig. It came a month later, and it's kind of just kept evolving from there. I don't do many paid gigs. Like, I'm happy to play for free sometimes especially if I've got original stuff I want to work on and get it out there. So Matt thinks I'm mad sometimes. He says, "You've got to start charging me." I'm like, just have fun.
Well, that just goes back to saying, once it becomes a paid thing, you can have a completely different mindset about it, and it might not be as enjoyable at that point,
That's it. But, got to cover the cost somewhere eventually.
Yes, very true.
So so that sort of just evolved from there, and then from there was a couple of other gigs at North Britain, and did some out at Malden, and I went back to Smysedale again, and then I don't know where else I've played. I don't know now. Malden's and Ollie, a couple of little things out there, and
you were helping organise open mic nights.
I helped organise an open mic night out at Talbot Hotel for 12 months, and I moved down to Melbourne for a little bit, but I've come back. But that was sort of taken over by a couple of other people, but sort of helped them get that off the ground and set that up, and now it's just could go anywhere, who knows?
Exactly.
So there's an opportunity now to play in Tamworth in January for a week up there. In replace, they have their music festival, which was cancelled, but they're sort of trying to get performers back in because it looks like the town's got a bit of a buzz again. So I received an email last week to see if I was interested to play up there for a week, and I'm like, wow, okay.
It's a big thing. It's the home of Australian country music, really.
I don't know what genre mine is, so it's bloody all over the shop.
I like your music, and I don't like country, so let's.
Might not quite.
People are trying to ease me into it, but I've had many years of growing up with parents that loved blasting the country music channel like first thing in the morning on a Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
So as a teenager waking up with a hangover listening to country music just sort of weaned me off it.
There's particular artists I like. It's some of it's good, some of it, but it's anything. It's like contemporary or whatever. Some of it I like, some of it I don't.
In saying that, I wouldn't say I'm big on country as a whole, but southern rock is sort of
bit of blues, bit of bluegrass.
That I'm more open to, especially these days with the massive mixing of genres that happens in today's music. There's a lot of hard rock bands that I love that are they've really got that sort of southern, a bit country sort of twang to it behind it. So I can get into that, but if you're writing about your dog or your truck or something, I'm probably not going to.
It's a good dog.
I think that'll probably about do us for this week. Moving forward, like I said, this is episode 9. So episode 10 is going to come out on the 30th of December, I believe. I've already organised a few musos to come on and have a bit of a special chat about the year in music. Fingers crossed I can keep up with them because they're both younger than me, so they might they might talk about stuff that'll go completely over the top of my head, but yeah, it should be fun. So keep an eye out for that. After that, I think after episode 10, gonna take a little bit of time off. I'll still be recording the podcast, but I probably won't be releasing it. I'll put up all the covers that me and Az have done over the last 8 months, I suppose it's been, however long. So yeah, that's what's happening next with the channel, as far as that's concerned. Thank you, mate, for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
No,
and yeah,
anytime.
and if people can, the third Thursday night of every month, down at the Volta, if people were keen to get down and support local songwriters and come and do a few yourself. I had a chat to Matt from Carter Audio in regards to what they were doing with open mic, so they're sort of trying to look at maybe doing on the off fortnight, back to the open mics for covers and different things as well, cool. So to give everyone a bit of a jump up on stage and kick that off again, but that's to be determined yet, so that's fine. Well, hopefully it's a good year next year.
By the time I record next week's episode and put it out, I will have gone to Thursday night's gig, so I'll talk back. I'll talk a bit about it on the last episode of the year, just to give people a heads up as far as the next one in January is concerned. But any other sort of news that I'll have before then, I'll chat about next week as well. So try and push as much as I can out in that last episode, so everyone knows what to expect in the new year, I guess. But,
cool.
Yeah. All right. Thanks,
awesome.
mate.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Anytime.
Wasn't as nerve-wracking as I thought.
Didn't even need a beer, see?